Hey guys, what's going on? It is Spiguyver. Today I am out on the trail coming to you from Greenleaf Lake State Park. Right now I'm here at the trailhead right by the campground over here, and you can see the sign behind me. I went ahead and registered in the trail register over there, stopped by the park office, and the lady in there, the park ranger, was super nice, very helpful. And so now I'm off for another overnight backpacking trip. Gonna be some fun, so let's go. All right, so right now I'm actually 0.67 miles into the trail, and I just wanted to take a minute and stop. The trail's pretty rocky, but it's really nice. It's a lot of fun so far. I've got the lake down here just off to the side. I think I'm going to get closer to it once I get to the other side. A little while from here, I've got a little bit of a road walk to cross a bridge to get back over to the other side, and then once I get over there, it's going to be a pretty good hike. So this trip is a 20-mile loop with a primitive camp at the furthest point of the loop. So about 9.5 to 10 miles out, there's the primitive camp. So that's where we're going to be staying for tonight. I've got a lot of stuff out here to test with me. I've got a new tarp. I've got all my tarps. I've got food. I've got shoes. I've got just all kinds of gear, all kinds of stuff. So looking forward to getting out here, trying out some stuff, seeing how it all works. And, you know, this is my first backpacking trip in Oklahoma. Been here less than a week, out on the trail, and so far, so good. It's in the mid-80s, and because of the lower humidity, it's wonderful. I'm not sweating, I'm not drenched, and so far, so good. Well, anyway, I'm going to head down the trail, and I'll catch you guys up in a little bit. Coming down the trail, and I found this. Well, I didn't find it, but I saw this. It's up off the trail, so I'm gonna walk up here so we can check it out a little bit. So it's not as much of a cave as I thought it was. It's just kind of an overhang, but still pretty cool. Got the lake right out there. Kind of hard to see it through the trees right here, but I've been right down near it, and I'll get a better shot of it soon. But the trail is not super easy, but not super hard either. It's been fun, so I'm gonna keep going. Hey guys, so I just came across a little bit of like a almost like a dam, but it doesn't go all the way across. And then I come to this, which is a really cool drawbridge. A lot of movement on it, but if you look behind me, back here is where the lake really opens up, and you can see some people back there in kayaks and canoes, just having fun out there on the water. So really pretty spot. It's pretty awesome out here. Trail's been a lot of up and down along the shoreline, so it's been a lot of fun. So I'm gonna keep going down the trail. Hey little guy, a nice black snake. Hey little buddy. So I'm about 2 hours into the trip, almost 5 miles, and I just came to this little overlook here, and it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to spin you around, let you see what I see. There you go. Pretty cool view. So I just got here to this little trail junction, and I see the sign right over here. It says mile 11. Now, I know that the markers have been about 0.85 off. They've been consistent though, and the last sign I saw was 4, and I was expecting to be at 5, and now I'm at 11. So if I take a look at the map, what happens is I went by Mary's Cove campground and I saw a blue blaze, which is what we follow here, these blue blazes, or sometimes they are the little markers, little arrows over there. And so I followed the arrows and they led me up this hill to where I currently am. Now, it'd be a whole lot nicer if the cut-throughs were a different color. The trail's been difficult. It's been slower going than I had expected, and the reason it's difficult isn't, I mean, the terrain is pretty rocky, it's been pretty hilly, but that's not been the really difficult part about it. It has been super overgrown. My legs itch so bad. I'm hoping I'm not covered in ticks, because I did pull one little tiny seed tick off of my hand, which makes me really concerned that underneath the dirt on my legs there could be hundreds of those little bastards crawling on my legs. But my legs itch like crazy from going through all this brush. So I really want to get to a spot where I can get in the water, clean off my legs, soak them a little bit, and figure out what's going on. So I'm going to head back down the trail I just came up, probably a half mile or so. Actually, yeah, it was about that. And keep heading the way I was going. From the bottom of this hill, it's about 2.5 miles or so to the campsite that I was going to stay at. So I've still got a little ways to go. All right, guys, I will catch up with you then. Hello, Mr. Armadillo. All right, so I'm back on the trail. I just passed the mile marker number 5, but it's slow going. If you look behind me, you can see that's what I'm going through. There's really no trail. If you look, you can kind of see some orange ribbon in the trees, and so you're kind of following that. I can see that it goes down through the trees right here, but I don't really know where it goes. It's not like I've actually got a trail to follow. It's just kind of from tree to tree. Not awesome. Okay guys, so here's what I was afraid of. I was afraid that going through all that stuff, even though I have been like every 45 minutes spraying myself down with the Picardin, I've got permethrin on all my clothes. I was afraid that because of just how much bushwhacking I've been having to do, really, that I was going to be covered in ticks. And really what I was afraid of was seed ticks. At least regular ticks you can see and you can pull off pretty easily. Seed ticks are another story, so let me show you my legs here. You see this stuff that kind of looks like dirt right here by my finger? Like these little things all over down through here? Yeah, those are all seed ticks. And I've got them all over both of my legs. So now I've got the fun job of trying to get them all off. One way to do it is to use like a credit card and scrape them off. I don't have a credit card, so I'm going to use either my poop trowel or my knife and kind of scrape them off. Awesome. And now I'm going to itch for the next 3 weeks. So I've gone back and forth a few times about what I should do at this point. I scraped a lot of them off of me, hundreds of them off of me, and then I felt some itchiness on my arm and found some on my arm. I know that I react very badly to these things. I will be a mess for the next 3 weeks. I will be itching seriously badly. You know, I've been warned that there were ticks out here. Thing is, I thought that this, with the combination of permethrin on my clothes and the picaridin on me, I thought that I was going to be okay. Turns out that was not the case, and I'm absolutely covered in these little seed ticks. They're the larval stage of the deer tick, I believe is what it is, and they're little assholes is what they are. So I think at this point I'm already 7.5 miles in. I'm just gonna keep going, because I know if I go back that way I'm gonna have to go through the same crap that I just was in that got me these things. Maybe as I keep going, I'm more in the woods and I'm not gonna have to go through so much of that. I can get to camp, get set up, and pull as many more off as I can. So that's the plan for now. Got people out here in their fishing boat. So I started hiking up towards the furthest primitive camp, and I got to another section where I totally lost the trail, couldn't see where it was, and I fumbled around for a few minutes and just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go back. So I'm at the first camp that I came to, and I've got my hammock set up back here behind me. This will be my first night in the Dream Hammock Darien. So let's go over and take a quick look at this thing. It's pretty damn sweet. So it is all black, as you can see, and then I got the red poles on it, and then the stitching is all in red as well. And so the way that this one works is it's zippered on this side, and then the other side is sewn in. So the only side that opens up is this side. And so I've got it set up for me. Really like it. What else can I say? Tonight's gonna be my first night in it. I've got the Ridgeline organizer in it, and workmanship on it is beyond fantastic. Pretty damn awesome, gotta say. So today hasn't gone quite the way I had planned it. A little bit disappointed with the way that today went, actually, and so it's kind of left me in this funk. You guys know that funk that you get when your day just hasn't gone the way that you would have liked it to. We all have those days where you set out with the best intentions, you set out with a great plan, but then it just kind of falls apart, and the best laid plans go to the trash. So that's kind of what happened today. You know, I got here, I've probably got an hour and a half. It's 6 o'clock. It's about an hour and a half of daylight. I could do the tarp video. I just don't feel like it. You know, it's just one of those, I don't even, you know, there's 0% chance of rain tonight. There's not enough humidity in the air that I've got to worry about a dew point. I don't even think I'm going to hang up a tarp. If I do, it's going to be one that's on a continuous ridgeline and already in a snakeskin, and have that up just overhead and not actually out. But I'm not sure I'm even going to do that. I do have some food, some paleo meals. The Paleo Meals to Go is, I believe, the company name, and I brought a few of their pieces with me to try out. So something for dinner tonight, something for breakfast in the morning, and I'm going to show you guys what it's all about and take you with me as I prepare it and eat it. And it's probably the most healthy thing I've eaten all week. You know, with the move and being new to the area and trying to get settled in, I have not been eating well at all. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to a good meal tonight. What I'm not looking forward to is when all these tick bites start itching. So I got here, I sprayed myself down a couple more times with the picaridin, and I got here and I started using my knife to scrape my legs and my arms. I checked my stomach and my chest and I didn't see any on there, but I have had a few on my arms, hundreds of them on my legs. But the ones that I'm taking off now seem to be dead. So I'm not sure if it's because I put the legs on my pants, which have the permethrin on them, if that's killed them, or the fact that I had so much of the picaridin on my legs that's killed them. But either way, it looks like they're dead, and I'm hoping they were just on me and not actually in me. Fingers crossed. I don't know. So I've got the lake down that way for some water, but it's very almost swampy. It's got a lot of algae and stuff along the bank of the river in this area. So I'm going to have to try and find a clear spot to get some water. But other than that, I think I'm just going to relax here. I think I've got an idea right over here that I'm going to do, and I'll show you guys. So along with the new hammock, the dream hammock that I brought out here, I also brought out a new Hatchling. This is the single layer 1.0. I think it's aerobic 1.0. Just super lightweight. What more can I say? It's super comfortable. Terrapin Outfitters does it right. I decided to come bring this out here so I could just kind of lounge. So I'm not in my hammock. You know, I wasn't going ultralight on this trip, even though this thing's pretty ultralight. I brought a lot of stuff out here to test out and to do reviews on and to really beat up. I brought out 3 tarps to do the tarp video that right now I don't feel like doing, and I don't think I'm going to do, at least not tonight. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll be feeling more up to it and do it. But for tonight, I just feel like, you know, it's been one of those challenging days where everything that kind of could go wrong with it, other than, you know, knock on wood, didn't get hurt or lost. You know, took wrong turns, went a half mile out of my way up the trail that way instead of that way. Had a hard time. Once you pass this point, so there are definitely points before I got to this camp that were overgrown, that really had not seen a lot of use and needed to be weed whacked for quite a while. I mean, bushes up over my arms, you know, as I'm walking with my arms up, bushes up over that all along the trail. But once I got past here, that trail almost doesn't exist. It is so overgrown. I don't know how many people actually have gone back there, because there's not much of a trail to begin with. Even where you could see the trail, it doesn't look like it gets used. Now, the trail here is pretty evident. The trail that goes up where I hit the other part of the trail that says 11, that was pretty evident. So I'm thinking that gets used quite a bit. And I think that's the way I'll go out. I'll go back up to the 11 sign and take that way, so that I'm not just doing an out and back, but I'm still doing a loop. It's just not the size loop I wanted to do. But I ended up doing probably just as many miles today as I would have going to the camp, because I got quite a ways up through there, and it was slow going, having to bushwhack, break trail, find, because you're looking for 3 different things. You're looking for either blue blazes on a trail, it could be on the tree, it could be on rocks. You know, sometimes they're just painted on the rocks, sometimes it's painted on a tree. You've got those arrows that I showed you, or there are orange flags occasionally tied to the trees. So you're looking for these 3 different things in different places, and you'll come to spots where you can't find anything. And as I was coming back, if it wasn't for the fact that I could see where I had walked, because of the way the sun was, the placement of the sun, I couldn't see any of the orange flags, and that's what a lot of the trail was just the orange flags. So it'd be cool if, heck, maybe I will volunteer sometime during the winter to come out and do a little bit of trail work here. I'm actually going out next weekend to do some trail work. You know, part of the group that I used to race with when I was doing the mountain bike thing, they're having a race in 2 weeks, and I'm going out to help out. I'm actually going out the day before, going to do a little bit of hiking, not a whole lot of hiking, set up and do some hanging out in the woods, out on this. It's actually a church retreat, and so it's not open to the public, and so I'm getting the chance to go out there and do that. They open it up for bike riding, and they do the race out there, but other than that, it's not a public trail. And so I think it's going to be fun to go out, check it out, do a little bit of hiking, get a hang in, and then the next day do some trail work and give back to the community that I used to be such a big part of out here. So I think I'm going to go get dinner going. I had to go get some water, and I had to find I went to 3 different spots before I found a place that I could get water that was halfway nasty and not completely nasty. Glad I've got the filter, so we're gonna see whether or not we're gonna see how well the filter works. Yeah, the water where I was cleaning up and getting the ticks off was a whole lot better than the water down here. I keep looking over here because I've got that armadillo that I showed you earlier. I saw him, a quarter mile up the trail. As I was sitting here, he's been walking around looking for stuff. I've got to say, I'm very disappointed in the people that do come out here and backpack. And I think that tomorrow morning I'm going to walk up the trail a little bit. There's a few different campsites right through here, and one of them has so much trash spread around it. Even this one, the fire pit that's right behind the camera has trash all in it. I mean, just cans. And people brought up like the s'mores marshmallow roasting stick things, those metal ones, and there's a bunch of them. There's like 5 of them laying right there. There's a bunch of steaks. I don't know, they decided carrying the steaks back for their tent was going to be too heavy, so they threw their steaks in there as well. They're not nice steaks, but they're steaks. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to get some dinner going. Okay, so it looks like we've got a good boil going. Go ahead and pull this off of here. That's what I like about this 550. So this is the Tokes 550 Light. It doesn't have the graduated marks that the normal one has, but what I do like is that it still has the handles and they stay pretty cool. So I'm going to put this water in there. That's about how much we needed. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more in here just so that it's there if I need it, since there's still some fuel in there. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a good stir right now. Try and get some of the spices and stuff that's on the bottom all out and up above. And here you can see it's kind of what it looks like as I'm stirring it up. It smells pretty good. I don't know that I really smell a lot of curry spice there, but what I smell smells pretty good. So the water's just about to the top. I'm going to give that a stir here in a little bit. I'm going to close it up. Now, they don't mention putting it in a cozy. So it is a warmer day. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it right here, just like it is, and we'll come back in about 12 minutes and see what we've got. So while I'm cooking this, I figured I would talk. Now that I've stopped at camp, I've got camp pretty much set up, and I'm starting to get dinner going. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and I was ready to pack it in. When I saw those ticks and I started scraping them off, I was ready to just pack it up, go home. It would have been 7.5, 8 mile hike back to the car, and I was ready to push through, even if it meant hiking into the dark to do it, because I was fed up and a little bit pissed about the whole. I'd been warned that there were ticks out here, but I really thought that because I had the permethrin and the picardin that it was going to be okay, and that just didn't turn out to be the case. And now, just started a new job. I've got to wear suits to work, and I'm going to be itchy. My hands, my feet, my legs, somewhat on my arms. So hopefully it's not as bad as it has been in the past, because these guys really, really do a number on me. I've had to go and get steroid shots and not even creams, but like an ointment to put on my legs when this has happened before, because this is one thing that I have had happen here in Oklahoma to me several times before, is these seed ticks when I've been out. It used to happen out when I rode my bike out at Draper, Stanley Draper Lake there in Oklahoma City. There's a really nice, for us, mountain bike trail, and that place is notorious for the ticks and the seed ticks. So, welcome back to Oklahoma. Watch out for those seed ticks. So I just finished eating this meal. This was the caldera chicken curry. Now, I was expecting a little bit more heat from the curry, but what I wasn't expecting was the sweetness of the pineapple. I know that it has pineapple down here in the ingredients in the listing. For some reason, it just didn't click with me. I saw chicken curry, and I was thinking, a little bit spicy. I look at this little picture that they've got here. Now this one, let's take a look at this one. The Butte Cacao Banana. That one looks really good. This one and several of the other dinners I look at and I'm like, doesn't really do much for me. Doesn't look that appetizing to me. But I've got to tell you, regardless of what it looks like on the picture here, regardless of what it looked like when I was stirring it up or when I was eating it, the taste is what matters. And so far, I've only eaten one. I've got 6 or so meals from Paleo Meals to Go, but so far, very impressed. If you haven't tried them out yet, try them out. I'll let you know what I think of the rest of them. But for now, this first one, the Caldera Chicken Curry, is a winner in my book. So, good stuff. So hey guys, it is about 9 o'clock at night here, Saturday night, and I'm in this beautiful hammock. This is my dream hammock, Darien, and nice and comfortable, nice flat lay here, feeling really, really relaxed. I've been listening to some podcasts. It was pretty cool earlier. The fireflies were out, and that's not something I normally associate with the end of summer, but it was pretty cool that they were around. So today was one of those trying days, those days when things don't go right. You end up with problems throughout the day, and after one thing happens, you can let 1 or 2 things go, but as they start to compound and add up, it makes it tougher to keep a positive outlook on the day. And so I had a little bit of issue with anger. Well, maybe not anger, but I was frustrated and in a bad mood. But got here, had really considered just hiking out, decided not to, and made dinner and just kind of hung out. And dinner was good. I got some Gatorade in me, and I'm feeling better. And it is what it is, and I'll deal with it later on, but why ruin a trip about it? So I think tomorrow morning, as long as the weather is nice and I feel up to it, I'm going to get up, I'm going to have that Paleo Meals to Go breakfast that sounds and looks so freaking amazing. So I'm going to have that, and then I think I'm going to do the tarp video, I've got the tarps out here. I spent the energy to carry them out. I've got them in my backpack. So why not do the video? I want to get them done. I want to put them out there for everybody. So anyway, some days you have those days when things just aren't going right, but a lot of times you find out that if you stick with it and you try to keep a positive attitude. You may not have a positive attitude the whole time. I did not. After I found the ticks, and then so that was like strike number 2, because I'd taken the wrong turn, couldn't find the trail. Then there was all the brush and stuff, the overgrowth, and had trouble finding the trail. Found the ticks, and then totally lost the trail within a quarter mile of that spot. It was just so overgrown, and I couldn't find a blaze or anything to follow. It's easy to let those things get to you and totally ruin your day. Don't let that happen. Go ahead and keep that positive attitude. Find the high points of everything that you've got going on. So I'm laying in a sweet hammock. I've got good quilts. It's warm out. I got to see, the fireflies. That was something unexpected that I got to see. So, and now I've been sitting here listening to some podcasts, and it's really brightened my mood, and I'm feeling a lot better. So, anyway, guys, I'm gonna keep listening to some of these podcasts and call it a night. And I will see you guys in the morning. I hope you guys sleep well as well. Talk to you tomorrow. Good morning. So it's about 7 o'clock. It's 7:15. About 6:30, I kind of started getting up, started getting the light out, and so it's been tough to sleep with the birds chirping. But I had a good night. I actually slept really well. Like I had said last night, I had some podcasts on, and they kind of just lulled me to sleep. And I think I fell asleep with one of them still playing, but I slept really good. I woke up a couple times during the night, but fell right back asleep. Was super comfortable in this hammock. I didn't mention it last night, but the Ridgeline organizer that's up here, what's really cool is this slot right here is just perfect size for the iPhone. I mean, it fits in there just perfectly. So that's kind of nice. And it's double-sided, so you can put stuff in one side and then put stuff on the other side. So it's got plenty of storage. So I'm just kind of being lazy here. It was supposed to get down to about 58 last night. I don't know what it got down to. I've got the Hammock Gear 40 degree Phoenix underneath me. I've got the Loco Libre Operator Series 50 degree Ghost Pepper on top of me. And wasn't cool or chilly or anything. I was perfect all night long. I had brought the Z-Rest sleeping pad as my back pad for my backpack yesterday, so that I could use it underneath my feet or anywhere that I got cold last night. But it's out underneath. I've got the Tyvek sheet down below, and that's where it is. It's down there because I didn't need it. All right, so I'm gonna think about getting up. Probably lay here, be lazy for a little bit. Got some coffee to make, and I've got got breakfast from Paleo Meals to Go that I want to try out. So at some point, I'll stop being lazy and I'll get up. But it's going to be a better day than yesterday. It's going to be fun. So good morning. This trip, I decided to bring my GSI insulated coffee mug and my Java drip, my Ultralight Java drip. You can see that it fits perfectly onto this mug. Throw my grounds, which I just did these grounds yesterday. Throw these in here, and then I'll boil up some water. Let it come just off of the boil a little bit. So it's about 200 degrees. Boil's about 212 degrees. You want about 200 degrees. Pour it over, and I'll have good pour over coffee. Then I will get the Paleo Meals to Go breakfast going. So let's get some water on for some coffee. Me needs my coffee. Now I threw on the jacket this morning because it is just a little bit chilly out here. Just wanted something to combat that chill, take the edge off while I'm out here. But anyway, I'm gonna get this going, and we'll talk in a little bit. Okay, so while we have the coffee on, let's go ahead and take a look at the Butte Cacao bananas and strawberries with almonds and cacao nibs. Again, let's take a look at the nutritional facts. 570 calories in this, so a good amount of calories to get you going in the morning here. 35 grams of fat, again only 270 milligrams of sodium, so lower sodium again. Carbohydrates, 56 grams in this one. Energy for the morning to get you going, and 16 grams of protein from this. If we look at the ingredients, it's bananas, almonds, flour, flaxseed meal, almond slivers, whole almonds, cacao nibs, strawberry, coconut sugar, ground vanilla beans, and sea salt. That's it. All stuff you can pronounce, all stuff that you should know pretty much what it is. So let's open this bad boy up, see what this stuff looks like, smells like. Again, right on top, easy to find, easy to pull out. So right off the bat, that is bananas and strawberries for sure. I don't see the cacao nibs, but actually there we go. They're way down in the bottom. So as we get the water in there and stir it up, that should come kind of to the top, and you should be able to see it, and we'll get a nice blend of all of it, the almonds and all of that stuff. Oh man, so I just poured the water in here and gave this thing a stir, trying to get everything out of like the corners down there so that it all rehydrates. Oh, the smell coming out of there is delicious. That is going to be good, I think. Now I'll get a little bit of pour over coffee going here. Be nice and slow and deliberate about it so that it's only water that's going through the grounds that's coming through, and not anything dripping on the side. Make sure I'm distributing it across all of my grounds. And I'm going to have a nice, good cup of coffee right here. Let's take a look at what we have in here. You can see it's a whole lot more of a mess, a mixed up bag of stuff than what it was when we started. So here's a spoonful so that you can see. I can see the slivers of almond. There's a whole almond. There's definitely banana and strawberry. There's some black specks that I'm not really sure. It's got to be the ground vanilla beans in there. Coffee. This is so much more comfortable than sitting at the picnic table over there. It's just, that's nice. So let's give this thing a try. So it's pretty good. It's got a fresh taste. Definitely not like an overly processed type of taste at all. You've got those whole nuts in there that give it a really good crunch. Because the bananas and strawberries, as you would expect, are pretty mushy. So that gives it a nice contrast on the texture there. Good flavors to it. I mean, fresh, vibrant flavors, not like some stuff you might get. Wow. This is really good. Butte cacao banana. Bananas and strawberries are definitely the stars of this one. You can taste them. The bananas are perfect. The strawberries are perfect. It isn't like you're getting overly ripe or overly unripe bananas. Same with the strawberries. Everything has a really good flavor. So, wow. I'm going to sit here and enjoy that. Grab some more coffee. And you guys wish you had this. So let's take a walk through camp and check out some of the things that I brought with me on this trip that I haven't had out with me before, that I'm kind of getting out here for doing the review, or we haven't talked about a whole lot. So first up is the Hatchling. This is the XL single layer out of Robic 1.0. Terrapin Outfitters Hatchling. They do an awesome job. And you can set these up lots of different ways. If you guys have any questions about the Hatchling, you can contact Scott Buff at Terrapin Outfitters. He'd be more than happy to answer your questions, do up a custom one for you, or whatever you need. So, next up, as we come around here, hanging right here, I have a new product that was sent to me for review from Amir. So Amir is the same company that sent me the scale, the digital scale that I use. This is a 10,000 milliamp hour power bank, but it's got a solar panel on this side. It's got LED lights on the bottom that you can turn on, and it's got 2 USB ports. So with this little mini beaner that's on there, I've got it hanging up here. Sun's starting to come from this direction, and you can see now it's got the green light, which means that it is charging, and you can see that it's starting to fill up. I used this to charge both my phone and the GoPro that I'm using last night, and now it's charging itself back up using the sun. So I let it deplete all the way, and I wanted to see how much of a charge I could get out of it today, so we'll check that out. So if we continue walking in this direction, we've got the Dream Hammock Darien. We talked a little bit about it last night, but after a night sleeping in it, it is extremely comfortable, fits me very well, and the craftsmanship, the workmanship of it is impeccable. Next up, what I've got it hanging with, from Dutchware Gear, I went with some 2-inch Kevlar straps, and I got some more mule tape, tied it all together, and came up with this system, since some of the places I'm going to be hanging now that I'm in Oklahoma and doing some stuff in Texas now require at least a minimum of 2-inch strap. So now I'm compliant with that. Down in my pack, I have, because I'm going to be doing the tarp video, I've got all of my tarps in there, including my new 12-foot hanger tarp, the Hex from Underground Quilts, UGQ. And what's cool about that one is it's in the membrane 0.93 fabric, so it's actually, for the amount of coverage that you get, very, very lightweight, well under a pound. So that's something that I'll be showing you guys later today in that tarp video, and we'll be doing a review on it after I get some good time underneath it, good rains, and stuff like that. I've still got the Free Your Feet that I'm testing out. And then, as you can see over here on my ground tarp, on my Tyvek, I've got those Hanagal trail runners that I've been using for a little while now, that I wanted to get out here and get a good test on, so that I could do my full review on those. Now, they sent me a couple different pairs of shoes. They sent me those ones, which are trail runners, and some low-top hiking shoes, which are a little bit more heavy duty, and I might actually take out with me next weekend when I go out and do some trail work. So that's what's going on around here. What else do I have? I think that's about it for this trip. The food, the paleo meals to go, which has been pretty excellent so far. Impressed with what quality I've gotten out of that, and the food, the taste has been really good. The flavors have been fresh. Definitely not the processed type stuff that you get where the sauce is what overwhelms it and what makes it good. It's actually the individual pieces, the flavor palette comes out really well. So anyway, I'm going to start getting things set up so we can do this video. I've been having a lot of trouble with my audio today. For some reason, it keeps cutting out. I'm going to throw some new batteries in it, even though it's showing that it's got fresh batteries, solid batteries. I'm going to throw some new batteries in, see if that might fix the audio issues. If not, we'll be going off with the GoPro. I did set it up so that it was recording stereo and not in wind mode, and that should help to make it sound a little bit better from the GoPro, but hopefully we'll get the regular audio back up and running. So I am headed out, leaving camp this morning, and got some good video. Took care of doing the Hammock How-to, and yeah, turned out not to be such a bad trip. You know, the attitude that I had yesterday finally went away. So out here you can actually see, it may be difficult to actually see, but out there is the water source where I got my water from. And as you can see, there's like the cattails and stuff sticking up through, and so it made for some pretty skunky, nasty, slimy, dirty water. But the Sawyer squeeze doing its job is taking care of all of that, and I've got nice, fresh, clean water. I put a little Gatorade in it, which makes it even easier to be palatable. But yeah, everything's good, and so it's time to head out. I've got a good bit to get out, 7 miles or so. There's the lake out there. You can see this is the marshy stuff that I was in. You can see how slimy that really is. Out there is beautiful. I kind of wish that was the water I was dealing with, but you deal with what you're given. So I am less than a mile to go, coming up through this little easement here. Got the lake kind of out there. That bridge right there is what I had to come over. It's the one road crossing that I had to do. I've got about a mile, a little under a mile left, and pretty excited about later. I've got a friend that I worked with when I was in the military out in California, and we've stayed in touch over the years. I've moved, he's moved. I actually went to Little Rock and did I officiated his retirement from the military, so we've stayed in contact, and he happens to now live really about 3 miles from where my camper is parked. So from that campground, about 3 miles. So I'm going over to his house later today. I'm going to take a couple of beers with me, and he's got some steaks going on the grill, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to go get a shower and clean up and then head over there, enjoy the rest of my day. Well guys, that is a wrap. Made it to the truck's parked right over here, and I've got the trail register over here behind me. I'm going to make sure that I sign out so that nobody comes looking for me. It's been a good trip. I'm glad you guys came along. You know, had its trials and tribulations, its ups and downs, but made it through, and I came out with a smile on my face, so it's a win. Any day in the woods is a good day. Well, mostly. Anyway guys, thanks for coming along, and I'll see you guys down the trail. Thanks.